Hello everyone, welcome back to our lecture series on power electronics. In this lecture, I am going to discuss on voltage commutated chopper or voltage commutated DC-DC converter. Let's start. Now, if I say the previously whatever the topics we have discussed or I have discussed, that is buck converter, boost converter, and buck boost converter. In all these three type of converters, if you notice, I have used transistor as a switch. Mostly I have used IGBT as a switch. Okay. In transistor, we have another option, that is MOSFET. This is also another option which is used in the applications or DC-DC converter applications. Now where we prefer these two? Basically when we have the low power applications. The power handling capability is not very high. In that case, we prefer transistor. If we have requirement of switching frequency around 0 to 20-25 kilohertz, in that case our preferred choice is IGBT. If our switching frequency requirement is around 100 of kilohertz or suppose 50 to 100 kilohertz, in that case our preferred choice is MOSFET. What is the difference? MOSFET is having lower power handling capability compared to IGBT generally. Now, if we require very high power handling capability, in that case, the options or the most preferred choice is the thyristor. Thyristor is our most preferred choice for high power handling capability. Now, in low power handling capability, why we use these transistors? One more thing, important thing is that these devices are called the power transistors. IGBT, power MOSFETs, these are the power transistors. Now, why we prefer these transistors as a switch in DC-DC converter? The reason is it has the better commutation facility, the easy commutation. By using the gate pulse only, we can commutate the device, we can turn off the device. So, turning off these devices are easy. The turning of the device is easy compared to thyristor in case of DC-DC converter. Now, why? If we use thyristor as a device, in case of rectifier applications, we have the normal current zero position because of the AC signals. There, the natural commutation is feasible. But in case of DC-DC converters, this current zero is not available. Therefore, we cannot go for natural commutation. What we have to go for? We have to go for forced commutation. Forced commutation. We have to go for forced commutation if we want to use thyristor as a switch. If we want to use thyristor as a switch. Turning on, if we give the gate current, passed gate current, then the thyristor will turn on easily. That is easy. By controlling the gate current, we can control the thyristor turning on. But once it is turned on, the gate loses its control. So we need extra circuitry to turn it off whenever the natural current zero is not available. So here in DC-DC converter, natural current zero is not available, therefore we have to go for forced commutation. When we use thyristor, whenever we have to handle higher power capability. The power handling capability of the DC-DC converter is at the higher side. Now, what are the available options for the force commutation? The number one is the voltage commutation, and another one is the current commutation. Voltage commutation and current commutation. These are the two force commutation options available for thyristor. Now, today I am going to discuss the voltage commutation. Voltage commutation of DC-DC converter. So here we will start with buck converter, as I always start. So let us first draw a buck converter. Then I will show you the commutation circuitry especially. Otherwise, the turning on operation is similar to the previous one. Just what will be the commutation circuitry and how it operates, that is the important one, and the design of this commutation circuit. So let us start here. So before that, let me divide the part. One part I will use for drawing the waveforms, and the left side let me draw the circuit diagram. So what is the structure? First will be switch step down converter, or the buck converter I am drawing. So therefore this is the diode will be at the bottom side, down side, and from here we are taking the inductor. Now we have the load. Suppose say we are using motor load. In that case, which is called the RLE load. So there will be an R, which is the internal resistance of the coil, and E is the back EMF. Large. This is the back EMF. This is R. This is L, and this is the boost converter. We will supply a source, that is suppose say Vs. Sorry, is the source voltage plus. Now what we do here, this position, this is the switch position where earlier we have used transistor or IGBT. Now instead of that, what I will use here, I will use a thyristor. What is the current direction? There the current direction is this one, is the freewheeling part, this is the freewheeling diode, and there the current direction is from the source to load side, or this is the direction of the current. So therefore, what will be the direction of the thyristor? Thyristor will be like this. This is the thyristor. Fine. Now in order to turn on, we have to apply the current to the gate. If we apply the current to the gate, obviously the thyristor T will turn on. Suppose the T1, and this is the D, that. So this will turn on, and this is the RLE load or the motor load. Now how to turn off? For turning off, we need a circuitry which is called the force commutation circuit. So here today I am going to discuss the voltage commutation circuit. So let me first draw the circuit, then I will explain. This is a switch. Now let me manage the position here. Thyristor, make it small. Manage the switch also. Another side. we will another thyristor which is called the auxiliary commutating thyristor. Here we will use, there is a diode and this will there will inductor. This is the commutation circuit. This is the thyristor for used for commutation purpose. Let us say this is the diode for DC and this is LC. C indicates for the commutation. We have only one capacitor, so I am using the notation C for the capacitor. So now this is the commutation circuit. Whatever I have done, this is the commutation circuit. Now how it operates, that is the important thing. If I change the color, turning on will be done by giving gate pulse. It will turn on. Now how to turn it off? Before that, before turning on this circuit, first of all what we have to do it? Once we turn on this switch, before turning on the gate, for T1, okay, or before starting this circuit or this starting to control the circuit, what will do? Basically, I'll turn on the switch and the current will flow through this R and C. What it will do? It will basically charge the capacitor. That is, this will be plus, this will be minus. And what will be the voltage across the capacitor? That will be VC. VC will be the voltage across the capacitor. There will be the current flow through this because of that. So basically, the capacitor will be charged. And what will be the maximum value of the VC? VC can go maximum up to Vs. Okay, so it will charge up to Vs. Now because of this diode position, it will not be able to discharge. It will hold the charge, or it will hold the voltage Vs. The Vc will be Vs and it will hold the voltage, hold the charge. Now what will happen? The moment I give a trigger this thyristor T1, immediately it will conduct and the current will start flowing through this load. Start flowing to the load. Let me indicate this way. This is the direction of the current. The moment I turn on this. So if I draw here, suppose say this is Ig1 is for T1, the gate current. Suppose say I am giving gate pulse here. Next gate pulse I am giving for turning on here, suppose say, after this time. This is T. I have another one thyristor. So let's say that gate current of IGC, so the TC. IGC is for turning on the gate current, turning on the TC. Okay, I will come back to this one later. So now C is holding voltage VC and this is the flow of the current the moment I have turned on the gate. That means I have applied Ig1. Next what will happen? The moment it's turned on, there will be a path it will get. So basically this one will be short circuited. Now if I replace this one by a short circuit path, these two are shorted now. Why? Because the thyristor is turned on. So now what will happen? The capacitor voltage will, the charge across the capacitor will start discharging. The stored charge in the capacitor will start discharging, or there will be flow of current through inductor and diode DC, LC and DC. This is the path it will get. The diode will be forward biased, so therefore there is a flow of current, and basically capacitor will discharge. Okay. So now if I draw here IC and VC simultaneously, what will happen? This is time t. Suppose say okay. Before going to the circuit, this is the waveform. Let me first explain the circuit, the commutation operation. So there will be flow of current. So what will be the result? The result will be that this will be plus. Let me draw it in same color, in the green color. So this will be plus, this will be minus. So the polarity of this across this capacitor will change. So this will be the VC. This will plus, this will minus. The moment it goes to the plus and minus, the diode will be reverse bias. Now this diode operation will off and this flow of current will stop. Now the current will not flow because the diode has gone to the reverse bias. So it will stop. Next what will happen? Now this will continue under this condition. Basically the capacitor is holding the charge with this polarity. This is plus, this is minus, which is given in the green color. Now in this condition the circuit will continue to operate, and this will be the flow of current. This is the load current. This is load current or I naught. This is the load current or I naught. I naught will flow through this. Now if I want to stop the thyristor T1, I want to commutate the thyristor T1. What will do? I'll basically give a pulse TC. Give a pulse to the TC. I'll give a pulse to TC. Yeah. At the moment I am giving a pulse to TC, what will happen? The thyristor TC will conduct. The moment thyristor TC will conduct, and this is in the forward biased, so what will happen? This will be a short circuit. This will be a short circuit. The moment this thyristor TC is shorted, the T1 will be open. Why? Because if you see now the polarity is this one. This is plus, this is minus. Now this is the reverse polarity which is applied across the thyristor T1. As a result, the thyristor T1 will be turned off. Okay. Because of this reverse polarity, the thyristor T1 will be turned off. And what will happen? The load current now will flow through this path. That means load current will start flowing through the TC, that is commutating thyristor. So thyristor T1 is commutated and TC is through TC, the current is flowing, the load current is flowing, and as a result what will happen? Because of the flow of this current, the voltage, if I see this is the output voltage here will be, what is the output voltage? Will be twice of Vs. Why? Because now Vs is originally is present and the voltage across the capacitor is also maximum. It is hold up to the Vs voltage. So Vs plus Vc will be the voltage. So instantaneously this will be Vs plus Vs. So will be twice of Vs. This will be the output voltage. So twice of the output voltage appear across this one. And immediately the capacitor starts charging because of this load current, and gradually it will start building up. This polarity will be positive and this polarity will be negative. The moment this polarity changes, that means this polarity goes to the positive maximum, that is Vs, and this is negative minus Vs. Immediately this thyristor turns off. this thyristor gets reverse polarity and it turns off. The thyristor TC. The thyristor TC goes off as a result. This is a reverse bias. Now what happens? The load current cannot flow through this. Then the load current basically flows through this. That is the freewheeling action takes place. This completes one cycle of the commutation. Again, we have to turn on the gate for T1. Then T1 will be turned on, and the same process will continue. The previous what I have explained. Okay, this is the operation of the commutation for T1 thyristor. So what is the process? If I once again repeat, so in short, so first we have to turn on the switch S. We have to first turn on the switch S, and we have to charge the voltage as the polarity given in the red. This will be the VC will be charged to Vs with polarity given in red color. Now what will happen? We will give the gate current to thyristor T1. As a result, this T1 will be turned on. As a result, T1 will be turned on and this will be shorted, and through which the load current will flow. Through this load current will flow. In addition to the load current, there will be one more current which will flow. That is, load current is flowing through this one, and in addition to the load current, because of this one, there is a path which will flow through this. So because of this, there is a capacitor current which is called the capacitor current IC. IC will flow through this, and which is similar to the inductor current IL also. So L and C are in the series circuit. Now if I consider this is forward bias, so this circuit is shorted, this part. So basically there is a LC circuit. The current is flowing through the LC circuit. Therefore, this is the oscillatory behavior will be observed here. And that current IC will flow through this one. As a result, because of this oscillations, what we are getting, we will get, this is the polarity. That means the polarity of the VC will be reversed. The polarity of the VC will be reversed because of this IC current, and which will flow through the inductor and capacitor. Now because of this, what happens? The diode will be reverse biased and this circuit will be turned off. Now under this condition, load current will flow through this one and IC will be 0. IC will be 0, load current, normal load current I0 will flow through this. Now what will happen? If we want to turn off or commutate the thyristor T1, what we will do? We will provide a gate pulse here across, gate pulse or gate current to TC. The moment we put a gate current to TC, then this one is sorted. The moment this one gets sorted, immediately what happens? The reverse voltage, this is the plus, that means thyristor gets, this is plus, this is minus. This is the voltage it gets, plus minus. And as a result, this one gets off, thyristor turns off, and this is the open circuit. This circuit gets open. That means the load current is disrupted here from this circuit, but this is the path through which the load current flows. Whenever this load current flows through this circuit, this gets positive, this gets negative. Okay, with time, obviously with time, this polarity changes. Instead of this is the polarity changes, and immediately because of this diode gets reverse bias, this polarity holds for the, this one is the polarity which holds for the next commutation circuit, for the next commutation in the next cycle, and as a result this one turned off. Now both the thyristor T1 and TC is turned off, and the freewheeling current flows through this one which I have given here. This is the freewheeling current flows through this. This is the complete off. Again we want to turn it on. Obviously we will put a gate here and the similar process continues. So this is the operation of the voltage commutated chopper. Why it is called voltage commutated? Because the thyristor T1 is commutated because of the reverse voltage we are applying here. The reverse voltage is applied across the thyristor T1. Because of that, this is commutated. Now let us draw the waveforms. So first what I will draw is the IC. what is the current through this capacitor. So let's say if I divide this whole part for the 4 modes, suppose that this is mode 1, mode 2, this is mode 3 and mode 4. Okay, total I am dividing the 4 mode. What is that? Initially it will be charged, then first part there will be this is for mode 1, and then the current flowing through this one, load current flowing through this is mode 2. Then whenever we are triggering this one, after that there will be mode 3 will start. This is the mode 1, this is mode 2, when the only load current is flowing through this thyristor T1. In mode 1, the current through thyristor T1 IT1 will be load current I naught, average load current plus IC. Okay, now during mode 2, this is mode 1, mode 2, through this thyristor only load current I naught will flow. Now what will happen to the mode 3? Obviously the thyristor will be turned off. Whenever we are giving the gate at TC, the thyristor TC will turn on, but thyristor T1 will be turned off. So in mode 3, what will be the IT will be 0. This turned off, and it will remain for up to mode 4, mode 3 and mode 4 both. IT will remain 0. Okay. So because this is turned off, and what about the IC? If I see, IC will start gradually, it will start increasing, and then after some time it will come back to the 0. Sorry. When IC will start charging at this point, when IC is peak, VC will be 0. When IC is at the peak, VC will be 0. When IC is 0, VC will be the polarity changed. That means the opposite polarity. Okay. Now if I consider this is the positive polarity for the VC. Now this is VC. If I start here from positive VS, this value is VS, positive plus VS. Now from plus VS it starts up to this point. There, whenever it is going to the peak, this will be 0, and it is coming to the minus Vs. So it will hold the minus Vs. That means polarity is changed. The changed polarity, instead of this, the polarity will be this is minus, this is plus, because of this current. So this is the minus Vs, is the voltage. Now during this time, let us understand that what will happen to IT1. IT1, the thyristor current through the thyristor T1. IT1 I have already mentioned here. Let me draw it here. This is mode 3 and mode 4. So now mode 1, what is this current? This load current I naught. Suppose that this is the load current I naught. And in addition, this is the IC. What is the correct IC? IC is this one. So we'll add them up. So if I draw it here, so from it will start from this load current, and it will increase and it will decrease here. And then it will continue to flow the load current up to this point. Then it will be turned off, and it will continue to 0, and it will remain in 0. If I change the color, I think it will be easier for you to understand. Now then again it will come here, and like this, and again it will continue. So this is how is the IT1. Now what about the VT1? What is the voltage across the time, and VT1. Okay, VT1. What will the voltage VT1? Whenever this thyristor is turned on, basically we will get voltage across VT1, we will get the zero voltage. We will get zero voltage because it is shorted. So, this will be shorted and this will continue till this part. This will continue till this part. Initially, I am drawing for mode 1 and mode 2. Next, once I have got this VT1, next let us draw what is ITC, thyristor across the, and accordingly let us find out VTC. So what about the ITC? Initially, till we give the gate current, so obviously ITC will be the 0. ITC is not conducting, so therefore we will get 0 throughout because it is not conducting ITC. If I draw it here, now if I continue this one, let us understand the VTC. So what will happen to the VTC? That initially it will be at the minus Vs across this, the reverse. It will be across the minus Vs. How? Suppose initially what was the polarity? This is polarity plus, this is minus, and that is maximum Vs. What was this? This one. This is what is the VTC? This is VTC. So if you see, this is the connection. So Vs is in the reverse polarity. This is sorted. So we are getting VTC is the reverse polarity minus Vs. And gradually, because of this charging in mode 1, this is charging, and gradually this polarity will change. This polarity, this will be plus, this will be minus. So therefore, during mode 1, it is minus Vs, and gradually it will change to plus Vs. This is minus Vs to plus Vs. This will change, and then it will hold and continue till it is short circuited, means till it is turned on. We see the moment we turn on, it will go to 0 and it will continue. So this is VTC. So now let us understand the mode 3 and mode 4. What will happen? So let's start from IC. So what will be the change in case of, what will the change it will happen in case of IC? Now if I draw the circuit for mode 3, what happened? This thyristor will be turned on, TC will be turned on. So TC is sorted, and this one is outgoing. This T1 is outgoing. And what is the load current? Load current is flowing through this, flowing through the capacitor. Load current is flowing through the capacitor. And therefore, if I see, I can see the current direction which is opposite to this one. If I see this is the IC is the positive, what was the direction of the current? This one was the direction of the current. This is the direction. From this was plus to through this inductor diode, this was the direction of the current. So if I draw that direction, which we are considering the positive, that is, this is the direction we are considering the positive. Now what is the direction of the current? This is the opposite simply. So therefore we are taking this is minus. And what is the current? This current is load current. So I am taking this is the load current. This magnitude is load current, I naught. And this is still this part. The moment this is turned off, because of this is the mode 4. In mode 4 what will happen? This one will be turned off when this polarity is completely changed to this. And this will be the polarity, this one will be the reverse bias, and this will be turned off completely. So therefore what will happen? This IC will be 0, sorry, IC will be 0 here, and correspondingly if I see here, what will the VC? Correspondingly if I see here, what will the VC? Because of this I naught, so basically this one will be continuously increase and it will reach here, that is the Vs. This is minus Vs, this is Vs, it will reach to the Vs, the voltage. And the polarity from minus Vs to Vs, that will the change, that change will occur. The moment it will reach to Vs, basically this TC will be turned off, TC is outgoing. Now this IT I have already drawn this one because during this time IT1 is turned off, so there is no current. Now what will be the voltage? Voltage will be, if I see, it will be similar to this one, minus Vs up to this point mod 3, this will be plus Vs and it will continue and it will 0 go on. This is how it will happen. Now what about the ITC, resistor current? So only through this there is a load current will in during the mod 3 there will be load current will flow through this I naught. During this only load current will flow through this one I naught, and rest part it is 0, and this one will also be 0. Okay, so these are the waveform of this commutator circuit, voltage commutation circuit. Now if I draw it, that is the what about the IC? The question may come, what about the IC? If I draw IC here, so if you see IC is ILC. This is the ALC, ILC, inductor current. Inductor current is similar to the what? Capacitor current, IC. So we will get IL only for mod 1. So we will get here only. And then the rest of the part it will be 0. Again it will. So if I consider this is complete mod 1 to mod 4 operation, how we commutate a thyristor using voltage commutation circuit, this is the whole analysis part. Now we have to go for the design part. What should be the value of LC and CC? What should be the value of that LC and C? So let us find out that. So for that, if I derive here itself and if I try to derive here itself, let us find out, because the waveform is there, circuit is present, so it will be helpful for us to understand. Let me clear this, then possibly it will be helpful for us to understand this one. So first, okay, so let us start with the design of, now let us start with design of LC. Design of LC. How we can design? That is from the initial starting part of the circuit. Initial starting part means whenever during the mod 1. During mod 1, we can see there is the oscillatory behavior because of this presence of L and C. And what is the response? That is the current. The current through the IL and IC is equal. So if you see at the IL, so this is the IL. What is the peak value? This is the suppose peak value. We can say that the peak value is suppose say ILCP, which is equals to ICP. And what is this value? This value is by Vs by XL, that is omega naught L. What is the omega naught? Omega naught is the oscillatory frequency or the resonance, what we say. This is equals to 1 by root of LC, and this is LC and C. This one. Now if we replace this one, we can find out, that is that this is equals to Vs by root over of C by root over of LC. This is the value we can find out. Now if we see at initially the thyristor current IT1, how much it is carrying? It is carrying IT1 is carrying your I0 plus IC, and at peak, if I say the peak current will be, this will be ICP which is equals to this one. So therefore this ICP, or which is equals to this one, this value should be less than equals to I0. Therefore this value should be less than equals to I0. So there we can write that Vs, S is missing here, sorry, Vs into root over of C by L C, which is equals to which is less than equals to I0, or else we can write LC by C, LC by C root over, which is equals to greater than of Vs by I0. Now if I remove the root, greater than equals to equals, so this square, or LC we can write this is greater than equals to this is C into Vs by I0 square. This one, this is the value of the LC should be C into Vs by I0 square. So this is the design of LC. Now similarly, if I go for the design of IC, so now in case of design of IC, what we can find out, that means sorry, not IC, C value, that is the capacitance value. This capacitance value can be designed from the turn off time of the thyristor. So what is the turn off time of the thyristor? This one, if I say this is the time which it takes to turn off of the thyristor, which can be denoted by TC, the turn off of the thyristor. At this position this is 0, so basically this the thyristor is turned off at this position, so this is the time it requires for turning off the thyristor. So we can write, so this is design of C. So turn off time, which is equals to TC, which can be written as, basically the TC is the time required for the capacitor voltage, that is the VC, to reach from, this is to reach from minus Vs to 0. That is the time which requires for capacitor, which is equals to TC. Now how we can find out this value? How we can find out this one? Suppose say IC, if I write, so this is equals to 1 by C into dVc by dt, 1 by C into dVc by dt. Now sorry, this is C into dVc by dt. Now if I write, if I take out dVc, which is equals to 1 by C IC into dt, integrate both sides. So what is the integration from this one? And during this time, if I see what is the IC value, during this time what is the IC value? IC value is the this one I0. I0 is the IC value. So I can write that is minus Vs to 0, which is equals to dVc 1 by C, and this is I0 into dt. What is the T? T is equals to, this is 0 to TC, so this will be Negation of 0 to DC to dt. So what we get, that is basically, it is Vs, sorry, Vs, which is equals to I naught by C into T C, or it is C equals to I naught Tc by Vs. So if we know the turn off time of the thyristor is known to us, we can find out the C value. So if turn off time is known to us, we can find out the C value. This is the average value of the load current. This is the supply voltage. So this is the design of force commutated chopper or force commutated DC-DC converter. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.